I'm supposed to do a video on this, basically. Someone left some comments on Black Skin is Amazing's video. He was talking about how black men can get so fragile, I guess, from rejection or whatever. And, I don't know, to me, I don't really care if someone is fragile. My thing is, I don't like the favor, the preference, the interest, the like, calling anyone anything. I don't like that, you know? I actually prefer them to hate me. I've always had the mentality like, when I know a black man is going to express some kind of thing, oh, he's going to be the number one guy I'm going to make sure he hates me. Because I don't like him like that. And I want to get through his head. Oh, sweetie, no, never. I could never have your tar baby. And that's just how I am, kind of like them. I'm, I guess, egocentric. I like what I am. I like the men that look like me. I prefer my children to look like me. I have that preference even over white men when it comes to that, but that's a whole different story. White men are the majority of society, so I mean, like, I prefer what's the majority rather than my own image. Now, if I was in Dominican Republic, it would be a different story. Anyway, to me, I wanted to talk about this though. See, there are people like Black Skin is Amazing who are fake divestors, as I call it. And these fake divestors are fake male divestors, black male divestors, and fake black female divestors for that matter. And it's just kind of like, in my perspective, these people always show their cards because they want black men and black women to want them, whatever their gender is. So, for example, I'm not going to call out any fake divestors because I probably watch them. But point is, there are some, you know, and they talk about how dark-skinned black men don't do this right or don't do that right, and they want their attention in one way or another. Or you could see, for example, Cynthia G, who isn't a divester, of course, but you can see how, as a mammy, how she grabs for their attention so hard, you know, by bad mouthing them. And then you can see ones like, for example, like fake divestors, black male divestors, like Black Skin is Amazing. All they ever care about is black women wanting them. They could keep on talking about other races, but all they ever talk about are black women and mixed women, same category. So it's like, how divested are you? Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're not really divested. You really do care. You really do like that kind of shit. And you're just not really a part of what I align with. What I align with is actually having a preference for other races as far as quantity over black men. You know, I can strongly admit most of the men I'm attracted to are white. And that's because, this society is mostly white. And it happens to be that a lot of white people are attractive. Dark skinned black men, I don't think there's any. I mean, if there are, they never look like, they're never feminine looking. Like, they don't have the round, soft nose, the, high cheekbones, the almond shaped eyes, the big, full lips, the no brow ridge, the round forehead, and the round hairline, and no body hair, basically. If there's an attractive, dark-skinned black man, he has all the features an Indian man has, basically. And therefore, that's how he's attractive. Because there are attractive, dark-skinned Indian men. It's just specifically those features are very well matched on a woman's face rather than a man's face. So the only thing that a dark-skinned black man can do is pretty much outbreed himself. Breed himself out. So that's why I actually support people like that being with other races in that sense, but they're still very fucking annoying because their heart is not in it. They aren't focused on the white women. They're not focused on the Hispanic women. They're not focused on the woman who is going to water out their genes and actually make their genes better. They're not focused on the women who are going to make their sons much better looking than they are and make their sons actually more man than they are. So that's more my issue is, I have an issue sometimes with some channels who are fake divestors. This applies to black men and it applies to black women. That's just how it is. I am very critical of black women who are fake divestors too, I guess you could say. But I generally don't police who is and who isn't to the same extent because it's not a personal issue. Now think of it, if I was a black man, I probably would be into white women more than other races because that's the majority of society. And that's generally what I... Sorry, I got cut off there, but basically what I was trying to say is if I was a divested black man, I would probably have the same issue with black women when they basically act like they're divested, but they want to tell black men that they have to be with black women, or they should be with black women, or that should be their choice, or whatever. We live in America. America is mostly white. So we should both be focused on what the majority is, which is white. So, But I do think with black men it is imperative that they do focus on women outside of their race because to me it's like, it benefits them in their phenotype. I mean, if I am not attracted to black men, why would I want to see more of it? I mean, it's honestly a roadblock. It's a waste of a man, in my perspective, because he's someone that isn't a choice for me. I mean, I would love to have more options. So, I mean, if he was to mix with other people and he would actually be physically attractive and a viable man, that would be actually something more ideal for me. You see my point? So, I mean, that would benefit me, you know? And I honestly am. I am attracted to biracial men. It's just that there's not a majority of them around. So to me, I am open to it. And plus, they kind of have a phenotype more in common with me than a dark-skinned black man, and they can literally give me children that look like me, and dark-skinned black men really can't. So, there's that whole thing. I think, though, speaking on children, it's kind of like this. It's dark-skinned black men who are like that. It's kind of like, why do you hate yourself so much that you're so willing to openly just basically hold it as a banner and a sense of pride that you don't like yourself and you want your children to look like something other than yourself? To me, it only proves me right that, oh, yes, I always thought something was wrong with how you looked. I always thought you were someone who was a bit less appealing than men that have my own phenotype. So it's kind of just like, it's kind of like cosign that someone says that they are inferior to you, and you're like, why did you just kick yourself in the butt like that? I agree, but why did you agree with me kind of thing. I don't know, I always think that, like, I'm like, well, should you really agree with me? I mean, like, I can agree that, dark skinned black men don't look that ideal to me, but I mean, like, a dark skinned black man saying dark skin is unideal, well, I mean, it's just kind of weird. And then on top of it, like I said, the self degrading and the self deprecation, it's like, how is this supposed to make me feel badly? And I've had people try and retort me before on him and stuff like that in the other comments, and it's like, how are you retorting by destroying yourself? I'm not dark. From my perspective, I'm happy with what I got, and it's kind of like this. You got this situation, with transsexuals. They basically try to create the image that women have naturally. I feel this way with dark-skinned black men. Okay, they try to create the image I have naturally because they are dark and they're trying to get lighter. Well, I'm lighter, so I have it naturally. You get what I'm saying here? And it's a thing they'll never have themselves, so they have to live vicariously through their children. Now, that's gotta suck. But, I just always think, like, when people do these things and they have this kind of anger issue with, I guess, women who are, I guess, lighter skinned black women and things of that nature, it's always like, to me, you're not gonna make me feel badly about you feeling less than me. I don't get how that's supposed to work. Like, how is validating me actually supposed to make me feel inferior to you? You think I'm just looking down on you if I'm having a bad day? I'm like, well, hey, that's something I'm not. I guess I'm better than that. And it says I'm better too. Also, I would like to say to the dark-skinned black woman, of course, you can feel better too because you're not the one self-deprecating yourself. I mean, the dark-skinned person who is self-deprecating themselves is at the lowest of the low. Obviously much lower than a dark-skinned person who's beautiful and proud of who they are. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and have a great day. Bye.